Oh, baby, we're gonna go to one smart, one dumb. This is Derek's specialty.
Yes,
A
sir.
genius title for this situation for people like us who can't decide whether we're gonna be smart or dumb.
Well,
So what do we got lined up?
dude, there was a lot this weekend, a lot of dumb stuff. I got some pretty good ones, but you know what, Hype? We're going to go back to you, and we're going to start with you. What did you think was smart and dumb this weekend?
The Colts for caring about their offensive line. I mean, look at the difference with Indiana Jones on the Giants, who can't even get like a one. They had their left tackle had 6 penalties in the first like 10 minutes of the game, right? Like just dysfunction everywhere in the Giants. You look at the Colts. And Dave's been pounding the drum for the Colts being a good team, and we're like, sure, Dave, okay, right? But we got to give him some credit for something, right? Because he's a Bears fan, so he's got to pick a team to get behind, right? And
Exactly.
so him having a lot of time to throw the ball and good protection from his offensive line has turned him into a top 4 or top 2 quarterback the first 2 weeks, depending on how you look at it. Completely insane and amazing. And not only that, he's doing it against the Broncos, who are supposed to be the best defense in the league. Like what? Like literally Pat McAfee's like the Colts are going to the Super Bowl. Like this is just what's happening, right? And there's like video of him and all the celebrities at the Colts game, which is like 4 people, you know. It's all the Indiana Pacers and Pat McAfee is like the celebrities, and they're just dancing and having fun, like they're just like, you know, having the greatest time in their life. I don't know how long this is gonna last. But like, and also Jonathan Taylor, they finally figured out how to use him, and they're just doing these dump off passes and little things to him, and he's so fast. He's just going for 60 yards at a shot. I think he actually clocked in as like one of the top 4 fastest people in the league this year so far, because he's had, and usually that takes time to get up to that speed. So it means he's had those long runs, those dump off passes, whatever. Just get Jonathan Taylor the dang ball. And they have all these other little speedy receivers. Like they have a lot of little speedy guys on their team that get open.
Oh, they don't got little guys. They got speedy guys though.
They got speedy guys. Well, you know, so they're not like big tall guys so much, but they're fast. And Daniel Jones gets the ball to them, and he's playing efficiently. And it just shows you what like maybe, you know, some better coaching and a good offensive line can do for a quarterback. Like, I remember when the Cowboys seemed like they were like this amazing team when they had an amazing offensive line. They could run, they could do whatever they want, right? They're the best line in the league. And then the line took a step back, and next thing you know, Dak Prescott is a guy throwing picks and losing playoff games and just looking like, you know, not a top tier quarterback at times, even though he throws for a lot of yards.
Right.
So my smart thing is the Colts and Dave. Dave gets to also be in the category with the Colts because he's also a lineman. And caring about having a good O-line and protecting your quarterback, because this year, of any year in the league, the Packers also, other teams, if you have a line protection, your quarterback is playing really well usually.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Doug,
do you have any concerns about them doing what the Saints did last year, though, where they lit the world on fire for the first 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It could be true. It could just go in the gutter or whatever. But
the risky part with them is I think the Saints they had Kubiak as the offensive coordinator, who really didn't have too much experience calling the plays. Steichen, however, was the OC for the Eagles when he first built up that Eagles offense.
Yes.
So he has the experience, and now he finally has a quarterback again after 3 years of whatever. So
I mean,
I think that's the difference between those two.
Indiana
scenarios.
Jones is throwing some really nice passes. I'll tell you that.
He
when
is.
he has time to do it.
Now, we've seen Daniel Jones have a decent to good year, and we've seen Daniel Jones have some atrocious games. Those are still in him. Like, I'm telling you, those are still in him, but I still think the Colts are better than average.
But what if he smartens up, and when he's not having a good game, he just starts running for 80-yard runs, like
or handing it off to Jonathan Taylor? I mean, because dude, remember, he had Saquon in New York. It's not like he was by himself. Now, he didn't have as many targets. Speaking of which, Tyler Warren looks really good, down there in Indianapolis. Like, he's like a perfect kind of compliment. And Jonathan Taylor was, you know, NFL rushing leader and maybe, you know, one of the best running backs in the league until he started having a few injuries, and you know, the offense kind of went weird with the Anthony Richardson experiment, but like, he's a weapon. People forget how good he is. It wasn't that long ago that he was, you know, getting most yards.
When Richardson was playing quarterback, defenses probably could just stack the box and not worry about him throwing because he was terrible, and they could just play the run all the time. But now you got Indiana Jones back there. I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah. No, I'm curious to see what the Colts do. I'm paying attention now. I will tell you that. I don't know if I think they're going to win the division.
Is everyone in the world just rooting for the Colts just because this is the craziest thing? It's just like fun.
I think it might just be because nobody thought they would be very good.
Yeah,
you know
like
I mean?
why not?
It's like when the Lions came out.
Yeah. Yeah, like Jared Goff, right? Nobody was like, "Oh, they got rid of Goff, he can't be good," right? Well, they got rid of Daniel Jones, he can't be good. You just assume if they don't work with one franchise, they're not going to work with the other. The guy we watched tonight, Baker Mayfield, Browns got rid of him. He went to the Panthers, looked terrible, and then goes to the Buccaneers, and he's great now, right? So franchises do make differences for different people. And maybe Daniel Jones resurrects his career in Indianapolis. We'll see.
All these quarterbacks that get drafted in the first round or have hype and they don't, like, they just burn out on like the Jets or whatever. So you're seeing now, this is true more than anything, right? We have a lot of things to talk about in that category, of course.
Yeah.
Now, do I get to do my one dumb next, or do we go to? Okay.
Yeah, this time Neckbeard will let you give your dumb.
I'm allowed to do it. Okay. The dumb thing is, this is kind of about the Vikings, of course, because they're just like a whole bunch of dumbness. But the real dumbness is, why did the 49ers let Sam Darnold go? They had him on their team. They could have just kept Sam Darnold, paid him $5, and like say bye Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? Like, the 49ers can win with any quarterback. They don't need Brock Purdy and $45 million or whatever on their team. And now Sam Darnold went to the Vikings, won whatever, it was 14 games, and now he's on Seattle looking pretty good too. So like now, of course, the Vikings are part of the dumbness. The 49ers and the Vikings are both dumb for letting Sam Darnold go. The Vikings should have held on to him and made sure J.J. McCarthy was the guy. Let him sit for another year. Let him come in and play in spells, Sam Darnold. Because now, if you had Sam Darnold, you could have another 14-win season maybe and kept the team together.
All right, there's two reasons I disagree with you. Number one, the 49ers had Sam Darnold and Purdy, and if they seem about the same, which by the way, every freaking quarterback in San Francisco is the same.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Because it's the system. You get Purdy on 4 years rookie contract. Like Sam Darnold got paid last year, so the 49ers didn't have to pay him, so I can understand that. And then the same thing for the Vikings. Sam Darnold just got a 3-year contract. Like, you can't keep Sam Darnold for 1 year. He wants a 3-year contract. So you either sign him to a 3-year contract or you let him walk. And so they kind of had to. Now, to that point, should they have drafted J.J. McCarthy should be the real question, and maybe just kept Sam Darnold. But they didn't know what he was going to be, obviously, right, when they got him. But I mean, dude, the 49ers, I mean, Mac Jones is in there resurrecting his career. And now we get to see Carson Wentz resurrect his career potentially in Minnesota. And can somebody just trade for Kirko chains already so I can watch him throw 3 picks a game? Can we just do that already? Because you know he's going to throw 3 touchdowns, but he's also going to throw 3 picks, and I want to see that happen. So somebody trade for Kirko chains.
And I have my fantasy team, so as long as he gets 4 touchdowns and just 3 picks and 400 yards.
As long as it's not the Bengals. Please, Bengals, don't do it to yourself. But like, I think the Niners could consider it with Purdy's injury. I think the Vikings could consider it with J.J. McCarthy's injury. But I get what you're saying, Doug. But like, I think just financially, guys, you know that the Vikings are also $55 million over the cap next year, and that's with McCarthy on a rookie contract. So like, they have got a lot of tough financial decisions to make. And I think they wanted to keep Darnold for another year, but he wanted a 3-year contract, and I do not blame him. That's what he should have done. If you got one good year in you and you can get a long-term deal, get a long-term deal, dude. No, they can't franchise him because they signed him as a free agent. That's not how it works. So they can't do that. So
I still stand by you should have kept Sam Darnold on your team, Vikings, just because it's really funny to laugh at.
Dude, he was so good. Yeah, but I mean, from what we've seen from McCarthy, it looks like a pretty dumb move, to be honest.
Well, the Vikings and their fans were all saying J.J. McCarthy's the next big thing or whatever, and I'm like, bro, you already have an all-pro level quarterback playing for you right now, as just in your system at least, you know. And he might not be that for every team. But like,
McCarthy is looking awful. And yes, he had the comeback against the Bears, but we saw what the Bears did. Okay, we're done talking about that. Let's go over to Dave. All right, so Dave,
let's talk about the Bears.
Okay.
My one smart thing is Dan Campbell going for the touchdown at the end of the first half.
On 4th down?
Tesla caught the ball. He got tackled inbounds. Unfortunately, one of the officials blew the play dead, blew that he was out of bounds. The other official said, nope, he's still in bounds. And they didn't stop the clock. Clock expired. And then they went back and reviewed, and they said, oh, no, because one official blew dead.
The 6 seconds left.
They had to do the 10-second runoff, and they allowed the 6 seconds. So Dan Campbell could have just, had options, just kick a field goal and whatnot. Instead, he's like, well, right now we're up by 7. They get the ball first, so they had the chance to, make it only a 3-point game. Screw it. Let's go for 28-14. And that took, because the Bears had they left the sidelines. They're like, nope, they blew the half is dead. Let's go to the locker room. And then somebody said, no, wait a minute. So they were discombobulated by that, and they never recovered. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't the only thing. We lost Jalen Johnson in the second quarter. And once he went out, we couldn't stop nothing. But Dan Campbell saying, all right, we're going to go for that jugular right now. We're just going to kick him in the nuts, the face, everywhere. That was a great call by Dan Campbell. He's always aggressive, and I just hats off to him for that.
And he went for it on 4th and goal when they were up by like 28 points with 3 minutes left. Like, he don't give an F. Like,
no,
he
they
does not.
Oh yeah, they asked Ben Johnson about it afterwards. He's like, it's our job to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I was on that sideline. I loved it. My job is to stop him now. So I appreciate it wasn't whining or nothing. It's just like,
yeah, no. And that's what I'm saying too. Like, Dan Campbell don't care. He's like, we're gonna go for it. So all right, I like it. All right. What was your dumb thing from the weekend? What did you see that was dumb?
I understand that the Denver defense is elite, but you'd been successful moving the ball almost the entire day. And then at the last drive, you're like, no, we're good. If we stop right here, we can settle for a 60-yard field goal. Let's not try to move the ball anymore. We don't want to risk getting a sack or anything else. When they could have been a little bit more aggressive. So the Colts, because of that questionable play calling by the head coach, they missed the field goal. It was only because of the penalty by the defensive lineman on the Broncos, where he tried to, jumping over whatever propulsion, whatever. That's what saved their bacon. So it still would have been a great game for them. It would have been a moral victory, not the same as coming back to win. But yeah, it was just the Colts head coach saying, no, I'm comfortable taking this guy who's kicked 5 field goals in his lifetime in the NFL, have him kick a 60-yard field goal to try to win the game.
All right, fair. But hold on now. Because my smart thing is the Cowboys doing the exact same thing. And
their kicker, he's not normal.
Dude, he ain't normal. They lined up for a 64-yard field goal, and he just took a piss, and it could have been good from 75. Like, that thing was an absolute rocket.
Yeah, 10 feet above the crossbar.
He got interviewed by Pat McAfee, and he told him, like, I didn't even kick it right. I thought I was going to kick it wide, and somehow everything that guy does, the ball just goes through.
No, you saw it was going right, and you're like, and then it was like, nah, boom, right in the middle.
He miskicked it, and it still went.
Dude, that guy's got an absolute cannon on his leg. Like, that was awesome. I was like, what are the Cowboys doing? And I was like, oh, right, Brandon Aubrey.
He doesn't even watch the tape.
I'd let him kick a 72-yard game-winning field goal. I'd let him do it.
The faith of God put in his leg or something.
No,
well, he did go to Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, I think so. Is that right?
Yeah, faith of God.
Yeah. Well, so there you go.
And Pittsburgh won on what, a 63-yard field goal? Like, dude, field goal kickers are in the weight rooms now, because it used to be 50 yards was tough. Now that's 60. 50 yards is a cakewalk. Like, guys are
by the end of the season, we're gonna have a 70-yarder.
Dude, guys are kicking 50-yard field goals like they're eating lunch. Like, it's not even a big deal. It's the 60-yarders that are kind of tough, and then there's a couple kickers where 60 yards aren't even tough. Do you know what I mean? Like, like Aubrey. Like, I thought that was awesome. He was just like, nope. He's like, we're just gonna run the ball. We're gonna put it right in the middle of the field. We're gonna let him kick it, and he just nailed it right down the middle. I actually like that. I don't like field goal kicking at all. I'm not going to lie, but I think there should be a rule. It should have to be 60 yards or further.
Do you think Jerry's going to not get a contract with him for like a whole season? And
I think Jerry's going to bring him to the office and be like, "You got a nice legs. Maybe we should sign a contract." Oh man, I didn't want to think about what Jerry's going to talk about with that guy. All right, so that was my smart thing. Let's go to my dumb thing. My dumb thing for the weekend also has to do with kicking. It was a very kicking centric weekend, everybody. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Caleb Johnson.
Ball is live, guys. The ball is live. Like, when it hits inside the zone, you have to pay attention to it. I laughed when it happened because it happened to Aaron Rodgers' team. Special teams in his career have been atrocious. But dude, come on. Everybody needs to know these rules. That's on the coaches to me. If you're putting a guy out there to kick return, you better make sure he knows every single rule and every single nuance of this new rule and how everything works, and they do not make that mistake, because that is a 7-point swing that, every team, I bet, this weekend is going.
And why wouldn't you just do it just to make sure? I mean, are you
just
kidding me?
Just make sure. Exactly. Don't play it cool. Yeah, that was really dumb. And you know,
and his only job right now is to be the kick returner.
And he saw people continuing to go after the ball, and he kept walking away, just like, oh, I guess they're going to go get it now.
No, I think it was just a lapse of concentration, or I blame the special teams coach for not like drilling it into his head or whatever it is. But like the coach has got to make sure that like, hey, we know every single rule and how this works. We do not walk away when it lands in bounds. Like we 100% make sure that ball is safe, right? And then my other dumb thing also is with Pittsburgh. Like Aaron Rodgers, quit throwing your teammates under the bus, man. Like you're supposed to be a leader. Quit complaining about where they went or what they were supposed to do or this or that because you threw 2 picks. Like, dude, that second pick was a terrible throw. Like, come on, man. Like you had a good week. You guys lost this game. Like, let's be better. You could be better. Don't throw your teammates under the bus. So that's my other dumb thing. He knows better. He's a veteran. So, all right. So that's one smart, and I did 2 dumb, but 1 dumb team, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Aaron Rodgers is always dumb. Feel free.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could elaborate, but you just say his name and we all kind of know.